What can turtles teach us about leadership? Perhaps this isn't a question you'd expect me to say at the beginning of our podcast episode today, but we're hopefully going to explore that sweet spot of where passion and purpose overlap. My guest today is known for stepping into chaotic environments and helping effective positive transformation, working on helping organizations and people to both improve operational excellence and reconnecting with what matters most, and all with boundless amounts of energy. Ulises, welcome to In Good Company. How are you today?
I am great. I'm happy to share with you. And probably the most important thing to me is about the Turtles leadership training. And everybody that will hear this beautiful conversation and sharing, I hope that you like it and feel motivated and enthusiastic to come, because this is a legacy to the world that is the conservation program for the turtles.
Well, I'm very excited to get into that. And it's, as we said in the intro there, there's not many people would necessarily put the link together between turtle rescue and leadership, but let's explore that. So before we get into that, please could you introduce yourself within 60 seconds, the first challenge to you.
Okay, 60 seconds, perfect. I am happy, I enjoy life. Since my probably lunch and breakfast with my family, all is about sharing and caring. And after that, when I was learning how to teach English, that was part of my career. I found my purpose and my meaning in life, and it was about sharing and teaching. So to me, it's very important training. I enjoy whatever I can do for somebody else, and to me is something that is in my heart, to put a seed of love in each one of the people so they can feel comfortable and better. And that's what I always trying to do in this life with a purpose that is so beautiful. So this is about me teaching and learning, keep learning. I think it's so important. And surfing. This is my passion now.
Excellent. Well, what I'd like to maybe expand on a little bit is to learn a bit about your work background and also a bit more about the turtle rescue that you've been involved with for the past few years. So perhaps tell me what you do for work, and then we'll talk about the turtles after that.
Perfect. So I started as an English teacher, and at schools where I was working in the tourist industry of hospitality, took me to the Four Seasons hotels and all those luxury brands. And then I start growing, I start learning. I think it was of the season of the AAA, Five Diamonds, Forbes, and all those schools for the luxury standards. And then my skills for teaching, it was probably what took me to open hotels, open restaurants, luxury brands. And that's why now with the situation with the turtles and training, I think that's why it happens to me that now it's all about training and teaching in this beautiful 27 years of career, opening 5 luxury hotels and fine dining restaurants.
And so, how did you get into the turtle rescue and working in turtle sanctuaries? How did that come to be?
Oh, that's a beautiful story. I was sleeping on a hammock in Oaxaca. If you have the opportunity to go to Oaxaca, you should go to Oaxaca. So I was sleeping in my hammock, and suddenly I start feeling a lot of sand on my body until the darkness and the eyes get used to the dark. So I saw a huge shell moving sand and digging. And I say, oh my God, that's a huge turtle. So I moved to the next hammock on my right side. And I watched all the procedure when she was nesting, when she was crying, when the turtle was laying the eggs, when they close the nest. This is like I'm moving with the shell, like pam, pam, pam. They are packing the sand. And I walk behind the turtle on the way to the sea. It was so touching. Makes me feel like, oh my God, I just was the witnesses of this beautiful God's creation creature. And that's how I fall in love with the turtles that night in Cipolite. It's a beautiful, beautiful beach. And that's how I started. And then after that first encounter with the turtles, I was in Cancun and Tulum. And from my spot, I saw a lot of turtles just arriving to the beach where I was living in the apartment. And I started as a volunteer for 4 years in Cancun and Tulum. And that was my second experience. And my third, it was here in San Pancho. I was finishing surfing and I found all the turtle volunteers, most of them foreigners, only one Mexican. And I just participate in the turtle release, and I told them that I want to work with them. And this is my third year as a turtle volunteer, and now I am the public and private hatchlings release in San Pancho.
Amazing. And as you said, it's a wonderful story. So thank you for sharing that. I'm keen to understand your perspective, and between, as we've already discussed, there's not necessarily an obvious link between turtle sanctuaries and 5-star hospitality. So they're not known for them being in common, but what common themes have you seen that have brought these two worlds together for you? Have there been any skills that you've been able to transfer from one career to the other?
Yes, I think what I learned is what kind of mentality do we want to put in our teams, and also if we want to retain our volunteers, train to retain your team. This is probably my leadership skills. If we don't train, they don't feel value and they don't feel that they are doing something with a purpose. If there is not a purpose, the people will not stay. It's even probably in a restaurant, even in a fine dining restaurant, even in a luxury hotel, even as a turtle volunteer. So that's why, to me, it's very important to train them to know what to do when there is a huge mama turtle on the beach, or when they just lay the eggs. And also, at the end, we create another fake nest with a scientific program controlling moisture, temperature, and time. And this is the training. So that's why I think both help me, that training is so important. So we have consistency, we have a plan, and we can build a team. If we don't build a team, I'm sorry, we are just hanging around together. And also this is a mindset, because as soon as the volunteers are ready and are trained, they can train the rest of the volunteers. So this is like a legacy that not only me will be training. No, this is my legacy to the next one and the next one volunteers, because every season we have like 15 to 20 volunteers, but they stay only 2-3 weeks or maybe a month, but they are ready to train the next one. So that's why it's very important to share knowledge. If we don't share knowledge, we cannot probably make the things happen. And also, Ulises will be the training. No, come on, guys, you can train the other people. You can. So think, how are you going to train to me? So give me an example, and I will just give you an advice. How can you train the rest of the people? Or maybe what would you like to have be trained first, second, third? It's always like a checklist to me. How can I train to make it better and also make the people proud of what they are doing? This is my mindset when I am training, and put it all together. The leadership skills in the fine dining restaurants and the turtle campament, rescuing something that is beautiful, the mama turtles.
I'm curious to kind of build on, I think it's probably fairly obvious to kind of get immediately that sense of purpose and a sense of pride when it comes to working with turtles. How do you, because clearly you've got a lot of energy around this, how do you ensure that you sort of build, how do you build that sense of purpose within an organization that isn't rescuing turtles? What tips would you give for that?
Try to catch the people doing something right. Try to catch the people doing something the right way, and give it a palm, give it an applause, motivate the people, and they will feel that what they are doing is perfect. Because if you don't motivate your people, and if you don't know what really motivates them, because we not all feel motivated with the same thing. But if they need a applause, if they need a touch in the shoulder, if they need just a small note, hey, I'm so glad that what you did yesterday in the restaurant, in the table, I'm so glad that your average check, or maybe with the trainers, guys, I like to take you for breakfast because yesterday we rescued 19 mama turtles, and we rescued more than 2,000 turtle eggs, and can't wait to release 2,000 hatchlings in 45 days. So to me, those are golden rocks, golden nuts, golden something to motivate the people. So that's why, to me, I cannot see a big company where the best atmosphere that we can create for our employees or colleagues are motivating the people. If you are doing something right, you should motivate. You must say something, because sometimes we don't know. I am right. I am wrong. This is the way, or I have to wait for an evaluation every 6 months. Come on, it's too late. So every day, to me, day by day and shift by shift, we have to motivate our staff and our colleagues.
What you were saying there was really interesting, because you probably won't be familiar with our leadership model. Maybe you are, but our leadership model fundamentally consists of noticing as an act of leadership, deciding, and then acting. And what you were talking about there was a really core part of that, which was the keeping an eye out for people and their hard work and what they're doing. And that's a key noticing skill that that then allows you to move through the circle of, as it were, of being able to respond to that, and also to encourage and perhaps noticing where people might need some extra support. So yeah, it's really interesting kind of linking those two together. And you've kind of touched on this already, but you've often been hired by organizations to help when they've just opened, or when there's a problem in training staff. Would you say it's more than just practical skills? What important lessons would you teach them in those organizations?
To me, when I just arrived to a new restaurant, hotel, or any place, I have a meeting with each one of the colleagues or the members of the assistant managers or the staff. What would you like? What do you need? What is first for you? How can I help you? Because if I come with an idea, but the idea is not connecting with the vision and the mission and the values of the place, now we are talking about two different things. To me, it's very important. Okay, what are your vision, mission, values, and what are your objectives for this year? And then we can work together. Because if we maybe I don't want to come just to rescue, and maybe when I leave, okay, maybe will come somebody else. No, this is probably what I like to be, like a legacy, as a mentoring the people. Okay, you are going to be here working for I don't know how many years, but try to find the purpose of these values, mission, and vision, and then I can start teaching something. Okay, these are the skills. Okay, we need the checklist. We need to focus on the average check. We need to focus on this, and this is the mindset to the people day by day. So that's why for me it's very important briefings. The briefings are the motivating people, the emotional connection. If we don't connect emotional connection with our staff, how do we pretend our salespeople, our waiters, my volunteers connect with the totals? So this is my lead by example, the connectional emotion, and that's why we have very good results in my teams. And even when I go to another restaurant or to another place where I was training or where I was a manager, hey boss, how you doing? Oh, Mr. Ulises, good to see you again. Oh, I remember you when we were teaching and we were doing this training. Oh my God, makes me feel so proud that it means to me that I put a seed of love and care, and they were learning and growing in this beautiful people's heart.
Yeah, it's hearing you speak about the work that you do so passionately is there's something that I think is in many ways unique to you as a person, that you bring energy, you bring care to the work that you do, which then will have that knock-on effect, that reverberation through into other people. So it's just been it's lovely to kind of hear you speak about the work that you do in such a energized and energetic way.
Thank you.
I can only imagine. I can see why you had good success.
I feel it. To me, it's not about the message. It's not about what I say. It's about how we make feel the people with the message that we send. If your message a message has to give to me three things: something to think, something to do, something to become better. So that's why every message should have an important clue, an important, I don't know, seed of something. Give them, the people, something to do, to think, and to make them feel better.
And I guess one thing we've talked about in a roundabout way is change. We've talked about change in when you've been introduced to an organization to help them either develop or if you're coming in to solve a problem. And in many ways, the same can be linked back to the turtles. But sticking with organizations for just a second, change is a journey, as we know. And we often say at Impact that you can't change organizations without changing people. It's probably the reason why sometimes only a third of change initiatives actually succeed. So in terms of organizational culture, if the organizational culture needs change, and not the people, how does it work? How do you start to change organizational culture?
Well, if I want to change the organization culture and then we have to send a message to the staff, I need to talk to the owners, I need to talk to the management team or to the boarder, the executive team. What do they want? Because I just not can provide just a vision and a mission or something. If they are the owners and if they don't know what to do or what do they want, I can send a message. To be honest, to me, the vision of the people of your company, of their company, of whatever they want to do, what do you want? And how are we going to make it? So for me, these are basic questions. What do you want? How do you want it? When are you going to make it happen? What result do you expect from this? And then we can send a message to the people. So it's not just about what I think or what I feel. So that's why to me it's very important. The first meeting with the owners, with the people, with the ones who wants to create this company, just give me a restaurant and give me the purpose of your restaurant and we will make it happen. But this is your business and this is probably the investment that you want to do. So that's why to me it's very important. Before changing people, we need some values, we need mission, we need the vision, and to train the people. And that's when the energy of our passion or what they wanted or what they love it, we will see at the end with our clients. And if the client doesn't come back and ask for one of my waiters or one of my people, I'm sorry, we are not having a business. This business is about hospitality. This business is about how do we take care of the people, even when they are just crossing the door and nobody say anything. Come on, guys. No, this is not possible. So come on, go and say hello and introduce yourself. What would you like? Boom, boom. So now, for example, I am working as a butler in a hotel. So that's what I think. Okay, where are we going? What's the journey? What are we the first five second goals that we want as a butler with extremely rich people that they pay $10,000 per night? Come on. So how do we are going to expect, how are we going to exceed the expectation of these rich people? This is just connection. Emotional connection to me is very important. So that's why what you are asking me is about what do they want and how are we going to make it happen to create a purpose. And because we all function as a team, or we all look good together, or we all look bad together. We build a team.
I think it's one thing you said earlier on actually was quite key to me and pertinent, which was if you can't see that purpose with your own team, then how can you do it with your customers effectively? And I think that was really a really nice way of articulating it. That it's almost like as soon as people and the value of that, and as soon as people themselves in the team feel valued, then they can again have a knock-on effect with giving that value to their customers, their clients, and the people that are coming to stay in the hotels. And with that in mind, then, so we've kind of talked about what have you seen in your experience? What do leaders of organizations often overlook when trying to build that service-driven culture and team environment? What do you think gets missed? I guess everything we've just talked about.
I think they missed to connect with the people. If they don't know about their families, if the people is not fine and feel comfortable at home, they won't feel comfortable and fine at work. Because if they don't realize that they have the income that they need, if they don't find that this is the place where I want to stay and my family is fine, they will find another place. Because sometimes in the hotel industry, the brands are beautiful, the brands are really nice, but the income and the communication and how to support the people, sometimes what they are missing. They don't know anything about their staff. How's your family? How's your kids? How's your wife? How's your house? How's everything? And that's my advice to everybody. We need to know and we need to connect with our staff. That's what I do with my volunteers. For example, on Saturday, 2 new volunteers, we will go to the Coral Island because they've been working almost every day, and it's tough and it's very hard to work with the turtles. And okay, I want to take you to this beautiful place just to relax. Thank you so much, Ulises. Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been beautiful. Yes, but this is the way that I want to recognize your work here in Mexico as a foreigner for what you're doing with the Mexican turtles. So those are things that do the unexpected to create emotional connection. Probably that's my phrase. And my leadership will be measured with the effectiveness of my team. So my leadership is not about what they are doing, it's how they make you feel to make the things happen. So I think for leaders, connect with the people. Even probably the business is not going well, maybe something, but at least we feel like we were at home, we were a team, and we try to make it happen. So that's my suggestion for the leaders outside, anywhere, wherever they are. Have a coffee, sit with them. That's what I do. Let's have a coffee. Come on, let's go for breakfast. Let's do this.
It's so refreshing to hear you say that, because yes, you're right. And I particularly think in today's modern world where, you know, all you have to do is go on public transport and see everybody looking down like this at their smartphones, and the pace of life, as you've said, you know, we're constantly connected to a device. We're constantly connected to somewhere on the other side of the planet. I mean, don't get me wrong, it enables us to be able to have this conversation, but at the same time, we often forget that as human beings we are social animals, and we often forget to slow down and go to that view and look out at the over the ocean, just to do it, just to be in that moment. Right. And I feel that is something that can happen in organizations. So I think you're absolutely right that taking a moment, a reflective pause to just be in that moment is so valuable. And I don't think it happens enough in organizations. And I definitely think that you're right. And I definitely think it could.
Yes. So, yeah. Can I share a story?
Please do.
Yes. I was in one of the hotels and the restaurant, and I prepared a wine tasting. But what I learned from this is how we have to do it in advance. So I prepared the wine tasting, the sommelier, the food, the pairing was perfect. So we start this wine tasting just 1 week in advance, that it was not enough. So that's why when we were expecting the people and the reservations, oh my God, only a couple arrived to the wine tasting, and I felt so bad. Oh my God. And the food was amazing. The wines were amazing from Spain and everything, but we lost money because we invest on the publicity and the sommeliers and everything and the food. So that's why the next day, my boss, the food and beverage director, I remember him, he was walking towards me and he touched my shoulder, and he just asked me, what did you learn from yesterday that we have only a couple? I learned that I have to do it more in advance. I have to make sure about the reservations, and I have to make sure that everybody's coming and everybody knows about it. Okay. If that's what you learn, okay, the next wine tasting, I want to see it full and packed and maybe with a waiting list. And I just told him, yes, I will make sure that we have a fully wine dinner exploration and pairing, and it will be better. So that's why I make a plan. So that's, to me, planning is very important. Plan A and plan B will be whatever I think it's at the moment. But the next pairing, it was really nice. More than 20, 25 people. It was a small PDR, private dining room, and the people was waiting for the next one. And then we built a wine dinner experience club at the Marriott Hotel. So it was really nice. So every month we had a wine tasting with different wineries. So that's how I learned. And my question from my boss was, what did you learn from probably those things that you didn't plan? So that was really nice. I remember a lot that day, because I was waiting for, hey, we lost money, you didn't do it right. No. He put his arm on my shoulder and said, what did you learn? And this is, to me, how we support our teams, connecting with the people.
Yeah, it's so true. And the fact that you've remembered that in almost as a positive experience, has completely changed the narrative of how that could have gone. And that's a very human-centric approach to that person's leadership, because, as you said, they could have come down hard and you've gone, that's a failure, and giving you a really hard time. but in actual fact, he's giving you the opportunity to grow from it, which is quite the skill that people, I think, still find it difficult to embrace. So yeah, what a lovely story to share. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, thank you for hearing me. Happy to share it.
And with that in mind, then, with your career history, how I mean, it's clear from this conversation about your energy, and how you. So I'm curious as to how you keep that energy alive in teams particularly when the work gets like hard and repetitive. How do you keep that energy going, and how do leaders ensure that energy stays within their teams?
When I don't feel good, I try to separate. And when I have that energy, I need to transmit it to my team. So when the things are not going well, we need to check what is going on. We need to be honest as well. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe there is something wrong. But we talk about the things, not about the people. And if we want to motivate the people, we don't attack the people. So, okay, these are the circumstances. This is what is happening, and how are we going to reverse? How are we are going to change this situation? So I need your ideas, guys. It's not about me. It's about us, because we function as a team. So that's how we don't see probably the problem. We need to see above the problems, or about the challenges, or about something that we need to work together. So this is, to me, very important. How do we communicate with the people when the things are not going well, when we are short on staff, when we are short on clients, or the average check, or the sales reports? Depends what's the problem, or depends what the challenge. We need to make a plan. So that's why, to me, motivate my people and the energy. Okay, we won't change. This is not going to change us at all, because our motivation, it doesn't depend on these circumstances, it depends on us. And that's how God's give me that purpose and meaning in this beautiful life, to work, to do something extra, to do the extraordinary, not just ordinary people. The extra, it means everything. So I want to be the first to arrive, and I want to be the last to leave the restaurant, or the department, or wherever I have to go, or my duties, or my pendings. So I always try to lead by example with my people, so they feel committed. Because if I leave early, or if I don't do it the right thing, well, if he's the boss and he doesn't care, well, it's not good to me. So always lead by example, and give the energy to make the things happen, even when it's difficult. It's all about leadership. And that's why my communication in the briefing, it's very, very important.
Something I'd like to highlight there is that sense of you as a leader showing vulnerability. I think that is, again, there's a common belief that you kind of need to be always, strong and be at the forefront and not show weakness. And yet, in actual fact, when people show vulnerability, they show authenticity and show humanity and show trust. And that there's I think there's a lot to be said for that again, people could learn a lot from, I think. And so, yeah, if there was to, and particularly, I think that could be, if we could see that in public spaces as well, that I think there'd be a lot to be said for that. And I think we'd see significant changes in the world. I think would be really, really interesting to see some vulnerability, in governments and things like that.
Yes,
but
that's
whether that will ever happen, I don't know.
What kind of mentality are we building to our teams? What kind of feelings we want to transmit to our people? So this is the mentality we have to build in our teams. What do I want from this team? I want this and I want that. So that's why it's a plan.
Yeah.
To me, everywhere where I go, this is my plan. Or what's the journey? Where are we going together? Well, I don't know. Well, we need to think. We need an idea, at least. How are we going to transmit an idea with our people? We don't know how to go and how to get there. So that's why it's very important to me, the planning.
Indeed. I'd like us to move very briefly back to turtles before we end today's episode.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the one thing that working with turtles has taught you about leadership that no leadership course ever could?
That's that's a difficult questions. What I've learned, I think what I learned and what I feel what I learned with the Taurus and all the leadership is about God's creation. Because
Right.
to me, what I learned and what I share with the people when we are doing the public release, who told that beautiful small little creature how to come back to the same beach, how to nest, how to dig, how to lay the eggs, and how to close the nest, or probably pack the sand. That's something that blows my mind, how God put in each one of the creature, flowers or whatever, or even on us, the potential to do something extraordinary, something that never told us to do, but because this is a gift. Because you have a gift, we have a gift, everybody in the position where they are, we have a special gift. And to me, that's what God's creation, purpose, and meaning in this beautiful life. It's amazing and amazed me even with the fruit and the flowers, whatever. I can really feel what's around us, even the birds that they sing in a different way, or the flowers blossoming in different ways. And now with my turtles, that's what they told me, that God's creation put a gift in each one of us, and we need to squeeze and we need to explore, we need to make it better, and we have to share it, because I don't feel that people with all that knowledge and experience and things like that want to keep it by themselves. We need to share it, and we need to participate with something that probably we are not expecting to do something, and suddenly becomes probably the best part of our life.
Amazing. Well, I've got one final question for you before I let you go, but I just wanted to thank you for that conversation, because it's been so full of energy and full of wonderful insights from you and your experience over your career. And
Thank
yes,
you.
I'm very grateful to you to giving us your time. Before I do let you go, I have one final question for you, which is the same question we ask all of our guests at the end of each episode, which is, if you were to have the opportunity to talk to your younger self before you embarked on your career, what, if anything, would be the best piece of advice that you would give your younger self?
Enjoy family, enjoy your parents, enjoy what you are doing, because we have to love what we do, and we do what we loved. And to me, I will do it again. My life journey, I really enjoyed it, because I travel, I met a lot of people, and every time that I travel, welcome to Mexico, I invite all of them to visit my beautiful country. And this is probably what I advise to myself. I will do it again, because even when I was a child, when I was a teenager, all the sports that I practice. So, but all that's because I have a basement that is my family. One of the things that I ask my mom and my dad is that I know what I want for my birthday present, and and my dad, oh, what do you want? And my mom, are you going to have your meatballs with rice and beans? No, ma'am. I want as a present. I want to be your child again, and I want to be your son again at home.
Oh, that's lovely. And what a lovely human way to answer that. Oh, mate, it's nice to. You see, this is the vulnerability and the emotion that becomes absolutely present when we're talking to you. And I'm so grateful for you to share such personal stories. And it's been a pleasure and an honor talking with you today. And I'm very grateful to you. So thank you ever so much for giving us your time.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to share, and it was a pleasure to to remember that when I talked to my mom.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my dad.
Well, they've clearly raised somebody who is a gift to this world. So you should be proud of them. They should be proud of you, which I'm sure they are, and you should be proud of yourself. So
I am.
yeah,
I am. It's very touching. Every time that I call them to let them know what I want for my birthday present, oh my God, they are amazing.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, Ulises, thank you ever so much for giving us your time today. And how can I close this apart from to be so grateful to Ulises for joining me and giving us his time. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode, which I'm sure if you...
Oh, yeah. I'm going surfing. If you want to go surfing.
I'd love to go surfing.
I am on my way.
It might take me a while to get there.
I hope to see you sometime. You are more than welcome. My house is your house, and I will be happy to take care of you and to show you so many places around this beautiful area. And yes, thank you very much. Happy to share with you. Sharing is caring.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Well, thank you, Ulises. And to
You're
finish,
welcome.
Thank you ever so much for joining us today on today's episode of In Good Company. If you'd like to find out any more about Impact, or perhaps you'd like to connect with us on LinkedIn, or perhaps you'd like to connect with either Ulises or myself on LinkedIn, you'll find all of the links that you need into the description of where you found today's episode. Perhaps you'd even like to volunteer with the turtle sanctuaries that Ulises is involved with. We'll make sure all of those links are in the description of today's episode as well. So thank you one last time to Ulises for joining me today. Thank you, Ulises.
You're welcome. Have a great day, everybody. It was a pleasure to have you here and to talk about it.
Thank you. And until the next time, take care.
Hey.